Through in this third period. Here's Don and John.
All right, the puck once again slides where it's been much of the time tonight of the Czechoslovakian end of the ice in the Montreal Forum. Team Canada takes a 3-goal lead to the final 20 minutes of play here in their 4th appearance in this 91 Labatt Canada Cup. Long lead pass for Jagger, reaches the blue line but not beyond. Now the Czechs bring it back in again. Kastic fakes the shot, then digs the backhand out. Ranford out to meet him and block that and cut off the angle. Czechoslovakia looking for a quick goal that they feel might get them right back into business here. Back on the point. Gudas shooting, deflected way up, 20 rows high in the Montreal Forum.
Good time for a quick whistle for Team Canada. Billy Ranford had lost his goal stick during the Czechoslovakian rush. As we have some words between Corson and Musil. Here you see the play where Ranford moves out on Kastic, takes away all the shooting angles. The stick here gets lost. As Ranford played it very smartly. Kastic had no one to pass the puck to. Ranford read the play and moved out at the shooter. Quick start for the Czechoslovakian team here in the third period.
John, how do you figure this Labatt Canada Cup 1991? The three typically strong European entries, the Soviets, the Czechs, and the Swedes, look to be the weakest. The underdog, almost a throw-in. Finland is the dominant European team, and of the top three, two, it seems, almost surely will miss the semifinal.
Well, one of the main things, without question, is the fact that Ketterberg has given Finland some fabulous goaltending. And teams can ride goaltending in a short tournament.
Finns behind Ketterer beat Sweden 3-1 again today. 5 points in the tournament they have. Desjardins drives that down to the Czechoslovakian zone. Fleury on the far boards keeps it alive for Canada. Here's Lindros again. Bluebirds once more greet him every time he touches the puck here in the Montreal Forum tonight. Snelik works the near side now as the Czechs bring it up the ice. Jelinek round to the far side. Zemilka in there. Fleury winning it for Canada.
Mike Keenan having some fun with his lines. 3 natural centermen on the ice now. And a penalty coming up.
All right, we'll get to that in just a moment. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
He doesn't play the game to win friends. He plays the game to win games. And this time he got caught. And a roughing penalty. Over in the corner. On the far side. Fleury gets caught.
Sure that was roughing or an attempted mugging over in the corner. Messier in the draw for Canada against Michael Pivonka. The Washington Capitals centering this line for Czechoslovakia. Messier shoots it back inside the Czech zone. It took until tonight for Czechoslovakia to score on the power play. They've gone 0 for 17 until they got to the Montreal Forum. Icing here, though, and that's not very well executed. The face-off's back in their zone.
Well, the feeling with this Czechoslovakian club, and the coaches are upset now. They get caught with an icing here while on the power play. But they just don't have an offensive leader to lead their power play. Most power plays, Don, if you think about them, have good defensemen to lead them. Al McInnes.
A leader like this man used to be.
Exactly. Brian Leach can lead a power play. This club, this particular club, does not. And it's bothered them throughout the tournament. The person from the blue line, Gudas, has the best shot of the defensemen, the hardest shot, and he's on the bench right now.
Canada has shown strength in shorthanded situations before. Burned Sweden for 2 on 1 single infraction in Maple Leaf Gardens the other night. Vacha now forced to circle. Watched by Messier. Graham also forechecking for Team Canada. Czechs flip it down to the Canadian corner. Stevens collecting it in behind.
That whole play was almost senseless. They had no quarterback out of the Czech zone. They dumped it in without purpose. And Canada had no problems getting it out.
Vacha left wing for Pivonka. Messier intercepts and very easily clears the zone. A minute 10 left in Fleury's penalty.
The twosome on the ice now up front. Larmer and Gretzky have been on the ice for all the shorthanded goals for Team Canada, and that's 3 of them.
And Larmer stole the puck there, but it's whistled down. Looks like over 2 lines right at center ice. Gretzky inquiring as to why they would do that with Canada in possession, but the faceoff will come at the Czech blue line.
Larmer talks about playing with Gretzky on the same line, even when they kill penalties. Gretzky's a centerman who loves to carry the puck through the neutral zone. And when that happens, if you're the winger, just get to the net and get to the net with your stick on the ice. Because Gretzky, with his great passing abilities, will try and find his wingers. Larmer and Gretzky have clicked nicely in this tournament.
Baranek with Gretzky on the faceoff. Wayne wins that. McInnes will shoot it down. The Czechs have Baranek, Palpy, and Ruchinski up front on this power play attempt here with 50 seconds to go remaining in the penalty for little Theo Fleury. At the blue line, they head them off again. The Czechs have to go back and regroup in the center ice area. Shot to the corner. Gretzky and Kracker in pursuit. Now over on the near side for Palpy. He falls trying to get away from Larmer. Hasek out to clear it himself. 20 seconds to go and a very ineffective Czechoslovakian power play. This somewhat tedious pace they start in the second period here in the third continues. No shots over 3 minutes into this third period. And now another Canadian penalty has expired. Fleury out of the penalty box almost in time to get to the puck. Just beating him to it was Yuri Slager. Czechs now changing as they go. Ruchinski. There's a brink right over on the far side for Yuri Slager. Picked up by Courtnall. Courtnall with Corson, and the Montreal combo almost clicked. Rebound, and Corson gets a shot away, blocked by Hasek.
Canada picking off the cross-ice passes. That last one by Slager set up the 2 scoring chances for Team Canada.
Courtnall will dig it out of his own zone. And he sends Desjardins away across the blue line with Corson. Lindros in front, shooting. Rebound. Big Lindros sweeps it around. Did he poke it in? No, it somehow stays out.
Another quarter of a step for Lindros. He would have had time to jam it in.
Almost 6-2. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Lindros again a force in this game as he has been with the pros and his first exposure to it in every Canada Cup game.
You'll see Lindros get the puck. He'll battle for it here, then try the wraparound. A little impatient. Another half a step. Actually, credit Hasek with a pretty good play keeping it out too. Lindros actually did get the shot, and there was room. And Hasek made the save. When Hasek was playing with the national team in Czechoslovakia one year, they went on a tour through Germany and into the French Alps. Well, he bought some mountain climbing equipment, Don. His first climb, he fell about 15 feet. The mountain climbing equipment was found in the garbage can the next day.
Short career.
$300 worth. He is a character.
Murphy bumping on the boards, getting it high to Robitaille, and Gudis is there first for Czechoslovakia. Kron. Now Gudis. Puck is behind him, and they have to go back to their own zone to try to regroup here. A little over 4 minutes gone in the third period. Remains 5-2 for Canada. Robitaille flipping it to the doorstep of Dominik Hasek. Canada trying to steal it. Czechs clear the zone.
They did. Sutter just moved in, pushed Musil right off the puck, and the Canadians controlled it.
Now Gudis getting it out to Lubomir Kolnik. Musil ahead of the blue line. It slides to the Team Canada corner. Ranford leaving it for Stevens. Past Harachuk. Number 7, Richard Smalek, chasing it in his own zone. Rather aimless play, back and forth here. Nothing concerted, nothing organized whatsoever.
Just watch the Czechs' first pass. Every time the Czechoslovakian club gets the puck to come out of their zone, they make the pass, and about 40% of them are clicking, and that's not very many.
Now Al McInnes past the 5-minute mark of the final period. His team ahead 5-2, having scored 2 of the goals. Feeds Harachuk. Harachuk closing in. Score! And it's 6-2 Canada.
Now there was a pretty good pass out of the zone, and then Dirk Graham sets up Harachuk. Shanahan just drove to the net on the far side of the ice. He just absolutely drove to the net, and when he did that, it allowed a one-on-one confrontation. There you'll see Dirk Graham's fine pass to a fast-skating Harachuk. On the other side, Shanahan drives to the net. That means one-on-one, and Harachuk beat the goaltender rather easily with the one-on-one play. Fake shot. Now look at the room open up. Hasek commits early. Dale Hawerchuk, with all of his experience, made it look rather easy.
Graham set it up. The time is 5:29. Team Canada leads 6-2. And now as we come up on the 6-minute mark of the period, the Czechoslovakia team, that even had a power play along the way, still does not have a shot on goal. There's one from outside the blue line off the blocker of Bill Ranford. The Czechs in a deep hole. They've been there much of the night. Canada scored the first 4 goals of the game. Here comes Gretzky. Gretzky walking into the corner, turned around by Kamil Pakar.
It's an example of how Gretzky likes to skate through the neutral zone, so it's up to the wingers to get into position to receive a pass.
Little Fleury bumping on the boards. Bounces to Gretzky with Larmer and Fleury. 3-on-2. They approach the Czechoslovakian line. Gretzky threading it through to Fleury. He gets turned around. Larmer half falling on the play, and the Czechs will clear. Both teams changing now as Smith lets it fly from outside the blue line. Cleared away by Praka. Punching check by Lindros. The Czechoslovakian player is down and in pain. He was hammered by Eric Lindros over on the far boards.
He was crushed.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. My, oh my, Eric Lindros just leveled a Czechoslovakian player into the far boards a moment ago, and he is still down. Looks like number 16, Martin Ruchinski.
He's an Edmonton Oiler property through the draft, and he was in no man's land here, Don. He was a defenseman. He moves the puck, and Lindros just finished the check. But with the player Ruchinski turning, he was then crushed accordion style into the glass and boards. And he was reaching back towards his lower back. There you see him holding his arm, and perhaps with that view it looks like it could be a shoulder problem as they are supporting his right arm. I don't, of course that's speculation, but he was just punished by Lindros in what was a clean check. He just finished the check on the player, and another player down. He hit old Samuelson in the last game. Samuelson will be out for 6 weeks with a shoulder problem, including the first 5 Pittsburgh Penguin games to start the National Hockey League season. Slager and Musil were having words with Lindros. Boy, oh boy.
Boy, he holds his ground, doesn't he, Rod?
We have an update from Chicago Stadium. Team USA and the Soviet Union. The Soviets think they have scored a goal. The puck off the stick of Gary Suter in front, but it's not in the net. The Soviets celebrate. The referee says no goal. It's still 1-0, but the Americans come back. Brian Leach will come inside, and Brett Hull will be in front. Leach with the puck. Hull will get it in front. Finally, Pat LaFontaine puts it home. Team USA has a 2-0 lead in the second period in Chicago Stadium.
Ivan Helinka, the coach of the Czechoslovakian team, deep down inside would acknowledge that was a clean, fair check made by Eric Lindros on his player, Martin Ruchinski, despite the physical price Ruchinski's had to pay.
Minor penalties have been handed out, or at least penalties handed out to Slager and Tocchet for getting involved during the stoppage.
Players from both teams milling around. A couple of Czechoslovakian players trying to get at Lindros with high sticks.
The Canadian club, Don, now put some big boys on the ice. Messier, Desjardins, Smith, and Lindros stays out there. There's some size. They will play 4-on-4. Now the Czechoslovakian club has a goal, scored at 4-on-4. Canadian club, of their 4 players, had 3 forwards and 1 defenseman.
The penalties to Czechoslovakia number 24, Iri Slager. To Team Canada number 22, Rick Tocchet, 2 minutes each for unsportsmanlike conduct at 6 minutes 47 seconds.
The offsetting penalties, the 4 aside plus goaltenders here. A little more maneuverability on this ice as Pavanka lets a shot go, blocked by Billy Ranford. Desjardins feeding it off to Messier now. Here's Big Lindros. The boos cascade around the Montreal Forum again. as Lindros just plays his game and gets tougher and tougher as the night wears on. Messier takes the pass at the line, feeds Lindros, shooting, and it's stopped by Hasek.
Lindros has everybody thinking about hockey in this building again.
Referee Dennis LaRue has called a penalty, and now they're milling around out there. This is the Levant Canada Cup on CTV. Out here in the Forum, of course, you fight in this game, you're gone.
But you know what's going to happen when Eric Lindros turns pro in the National Hockey League? He's going to be challenged. If he hits like he hits here, the gloves will fly. And they tell me he's one tough guy. He can handle himself, but he will, without a doubt, be challenged.
Here is the infraction, Musil, number 4.
Reaches out, grabs a hold of Lindros.
Not sure what that was all about right there.
Looked rather harmless.
But he gets 2 minutes.
Certainly got the adrenaline flowing of Team Canada for the first time in a while.
Here's a better look at it.
Lindros moving in. Musil with a bump. That looked rather harmless again.
Now another Canadian's gone to the penalty box, Smith. So 2 of each team in that very small Montreal Forum penalty box. Mike Keenan, Team Canada's coach, has a 4-goal bulge here with 12.5 minutes left.
Speaking of Team Canada, Canada's Olympic team returned late last night from a 13-game tour of Europe. They won 10, lost 2, tied 1. For Dave King and the crew, a pretty good job.
Here are the penalties.
2 minutes pour Rudes, le numéro 25, Thomas Zelinek, 2 minutes pour avoir 5 lignes. À l'équipe Canada, le numéro 5, Steve Smith, 2 minutes pour Rudes, à 5 minutes 28 secondes. The penalties to Team Czechoslovakia number 4, František Busil, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 25, Thomas Zelinek, 2 minutes for slashing. And to Team Canada number 5, Steve Smith, 2 minutes for roughing at 7 minutes 28 seconds.
So a third Czechoslovakian player, Thomas Jelinek, is going to come to the penalty box. He gets a slashing penalty. 3 Czechoslovakians and 2 Canadians.
Here's number 25. This is the slash that set up everything. Two-hander across the waist of Lindros. That's what got everybody involved. The temper started to flare somewhat. It was from that slash.
Did you see with that slash, Lindros held his ground and took the shot. Turned away, undeterred.
Now Gretzky had just finished talking to the referee regarding who comes out of the penalty box and when, and how many people will be, as far as man advantage goes. It is still a power play situation for Team Canada. I believe it will be a 4-on-3.
Faceoff is going to come right where it all began, to the left of Dominik Hasek.
Matthew Schneider just signed a brand new contract today for the Montreal Canadiens. A 3-year contract plus an option, 4 years worth. So that's not bad. Congratulations to him. And there you see Serge Savard with his daughter. And he's the man that signed Matthew Schneider. Of course, Serge Savard, the general manager of Montreal's club. I think they're trying to, right now, Don, figure out who comes out of the penalty box and when will the power play be. Different rules with international hockey than what we see with the National Hockey League. So it's now a situation where the referee is over at the timekeeper's box and he's explaining it to the off-ice officials.
Well, I would think, first of all, you got the offsetting penalties to take care of. 1:19 left in those to Slager and to Tocchet. Then you get down to the one that just happened now, a 2-minute sentence for Smith, and 2 Czechoslovakian penalties, to Musil for 2 and to Jelinek for 2 minutes.
What it'll be now is a 3-on-3
right
until the 2 minutes expire, and then Team Canada will have a power play if there's no other penalties.
Well, we'll be heading to Quebec City. Team Canada, in fact, will leave after this game tonight to get ready for their next game, and we will have it for you in the feature of the Labatt Canada Cup. Canada, the Soviet Union, always the showcase game, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Check for it where you live. Soviets tonight in a hole against Team USA in Chicago, still trailing to the Americans 2-0. Now Gretzky for Coffey. Coffey backhands it just off target.
This reminds you of the old Edmonton Oilers days. Coffey and Gretzky with lots of open ice.
A lot of skating can be expected here. Jurgis Bacha for Czechoslovakia. Getting some help now from Jágr of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jágr skates back out to center ice with it. 3 aside for about 50 seconds. Then Team Canada will have the advantage on the power play. Coffey at center ice to Gretzky. Gretzky inside the line. Turning, he will make the play. He let the shot go, and Hasek came out to redirect that off his pads. Snelik brings it forward now for Czechoslovakia. Czech player taken down. Bacha in return. A Canadian player got dumped back. They come 2-on-1. Gretzky and McInnes to McInnes. And out comes sliding Hasek to stop McInnes from a hat trick tonight. Just 10 seconds to go on those offsetting penalties. Canada's power play about to come onto the ice. Here's Gretzky still with it. Feeding it inside the blue line to Murphy. Big Murphy. Cross to the far corner. Coffey headed for the bench, comes back to take it now. The 2 penalties have expired, so Canada's got the edge. Here's Murphy. Hasek blocks that. Murphy moving in for the rebound. It was picked up by number 18, Jurgis Bacha. Less than 11 minutes to go in the third period. 6-2 for Canada over Czechoslovakia.
Gretzky still on the ice. This is about 2 minutes 30 seconds straight now.
Takes the pass from Murphy. Has Stevens and Fleury with him. Feeds Stevens. Now down to Fleury on the left boards. Stevens shot. Hasek feeds the rebound out. Pouncing on that is Murphy. Getting it to Gretzky. Now back to Murphy in the corner again. The defenseman in there being pinned by Packard. Smith comes back on the ice along with Musil.
So it's now a 5-on-4 Canadian power play for the next 1 minute 14 seconds.
Well, be sure to stay tuned right after the game for the Apple Autoglass Canada game highlight. Apple Autoglass saves you money on stone chip windshield repair.